As we approach what I can only imagine is one of the hardest first seasons to follow in TV history, I would like to go through various information we've obtained through trailers, community theories, and ARG. If you don't know what ARG stands for, it's Alternate Reality Game. Basically, a hidden layer developed by the show creators to give additional information about what's to come, or the universe as a whole through the means of hidden code and cryptic challenges. This video will contain my personal thoughts about the shape of the upcoming season, based largely on speculation and theory crafting. This will contain Season 1 spoilers and Season 2 trailers. Enjoy. Also, if you want to get involved in the community, our Discord link is down below. Join, post your thoughts, post your questions, etc., and we can dissect them together. Starting off, this season of Westworld will involve both past and present timelines, meaning that we'll get to witness the events following the season finale massacre, as well as the pre-Men in Black William leaving the park and overthrowing his future brother-in-law Logan. If you recall, William is marrying Logan's sister, which is why Logan brought William here in the first place, to celebrate an advanced bachelor party, you could claim.
It's not like my sister didn't ride her share of cowboys when she was here. Let's go put some memories in that spank bank. Trust me, you will thank me after you've been married to my sister for a year.
With also the hidden agenda of really getting a better understanding of the appeal of the park so that he can propose this to his company for investment. This was originally Logan's idea, but as William smacks the horses behind with a strapped Logan riding bareback, William makes known his forward agenda. He's coming for power in the outside world. I hope the writers take the time and really understand the dynamic in play outside of the park. A power-hungry, arrogant, but by all statements a savvy businessman being taken down by the person he probably hired on as a favor to his sister. Someone he considers a subordinate, and in his own words.
You probably think you're on this trip because you're some kind of contender, some threat to me. I picked you precisely because you will never be a threat to anyone. My sister probably picked you for the same reason. You walked into my office in that cheap black suit of yours, and you shook my hand, and you thanked me for the opportunity. That was the best day of your life.
Character advancement from William to the Man in Black will involve him becoming wildly successful and hardened, but overall failing and tormented, because we know he loses every real thing he loves outside of the park before Season 1. But I may be getting too far ahead of myself. What I predict in this season is that we'll see the development of William to a successful position and a crushing blow delivered to Logan. We may get more background of the family dynamic Man in Black exhibits, because Logan failing by William's hand means that the sister has to decide between them. This will likely be the first large issue they face as a married couple, and maybe the first stepping stone that leads to this.
Last year, my wife took the wrong pills. Fell asleep in the bath. I tried to console my daughter. She pushed me away. Told me that my wife's death was no accident. That she killed herself.
All the way back on November 13th, 2016, I predicted that this show would highlight the robotic revolution, the creation rebelling and taking over the park, if not all of humanity. Told a possibly self-aware robot that her existence is for the amusement of others, and the icing on the cake is that now they're the more advanced party, but they're still slaves to humans. What a bad idea, honestly. I don't think it gets worse than that. I'm almost positive from this we can deduce that Maeve's story arc will be the robotic revolution. Turns out that's exactly what the season will be, Dolores taking control and rallying the hosts to become self-aware and fight against their oppressors. At least, that's what the marketing is putting on. But before we get to the pinnacle of the singularity, I want to discuss something just as important. Do all humans deserve to die while robots take this step in evolution? Naturally, you say no. But if you ask Dolores, I don't think she's taking the time to ask who did and who didn't hunt, murder, and rape her over the past 30 years. She has an evil streak. Okay, I'll get to the point. The point is, robot civil war will happen before we simply see Dolores rise and conquer humanity. And the challenger will either be Maeve, Bernard, or Teddy. Maeve is the only host the creators have actually stated outright has made her own choice, leaving the train to find her daughter. And while the humans equally have tormented Maeve on countless loops, it was the humans that helped her in the awakening. Felix. I imagine a scene where Dolores sees Felix goes to murder him simply for being a human, and Maeve stops this because, after all, Felix was kind to her, didn't treat her like property, treated her like a human.
Are you sure you're gonna be okay?
Oh, Felix. You really do make a terrible human being.
Dolores and Maeve may butt heads during this season, and I honestly cannot wait to see how that develops. In fact, I believe that Ford's plan and the reason he developed Maeve's journey to consciousness was not simply to get a self-aware host out of the park. I believe she exists to balance Dolores, to make sure the only self-aware host he left in the world wasn't hell-bent on world domination. That things like love, even if it's love for a fictional child, still matter. Last but not least, let's talk about DELOS. DELOS is the company both William and Logan work for when we see them first visit the park. I believe they worked at DELOS and in these higher positions convinced James DELOS to buy Westworld as a solid grossing investment, thus launching DELOS Destinations. Before that, I theorized that DELOS Incorporated did a variety of things, something like Amazon or Google in both wealth and reach. Now, here is why that background is important. In Season 1, it was discovered that members of the board were trying to get the intellectual property out of the park. The purpose of this action is something that I've discussed in Season 1 videos, but it still remains the same. With this technology, you could take over the world. They could sell soldiers to nations they support that would never die, tie, or feel pain. They would shoot better, kill more, and if they did go out of commission, they could just be rebuilt and deployed again. I've seen plenty of other theories outside of this, but it really doesn't need to be more complicated than DELOS is a money-hungry corporation. And if they get this tech outside of the park, they'll be playing God, and if provoked, could take down any entity they wish. This is a weapon, and it's also why I feel that Ford wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't evil. He knew the project him and his best friend worked on would be used for terrible things in their absence. He wasn't having it. So his actions, his final narrative, was to give the hosts the best chance at survival and give them the best chance to protect the intellectual property now that he's gone. So in conclusion, this season will bring a 2-timeline system showing us William taking down Logan in the outside world, as well as what follows the season finale massacre. Dolores has plans to take over the park and ensure no hosts are ever subjected to man's manipulation again, and Maeve may be a part of balancing the leadership of the host army with a different perspective. Oh, and DELOS has more at stake here than just an amusement park. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please leave a like, share, comment below, and I'll see you next week. Much love.